Inside the Reefer trailer. I'm just hanging out this evening. I was actually just cleaning the trailer out, picking up some big debris, broken pallets, crap like that. And thought, hey, you know what? Instead of sitting back in the truck, I'm just gonna sit down in the nice clean trailer. So yeah, this is what my Reefer trailer looks like empty. 53 feet. That's right, come on now. Sorry, taking a sip of my Rutter's Southern Style iced tea. Yeah, like I said, it's a beautiful night where I am. I'm out in Pennsylvania, and like I said, just got done cleaning out the Reefer trailer, and instead of climbing back into the truck, I thought, hey man, I'd sit down and enjoy the sunset, which is to my back. Gary Bates is in the house. Driving with John's in the house. What up? Thumbs up poop emoji from Gary Bates. Give me a chair. It's 93 here. Yeah, man. It's kind of cool tonight. It was hot today in Pennsylvania, like during the day. But it's nice and cool right now. That's why I climbed in the back and did kind of like a deep clean of the trailer. A lot of times, a lot of debris gets on the floor here, like broken pallets that you need a screwdriver and a hammer to like kind of dig out. So that's what I did. I spent the last 45 minutes kind of cleaning the trailer out, making sure it looks good for my next pickup tomorrow morning. I have a pickup scheduled for 5 a.m. and I am about an hour away from that pickup. Wheel Burner's in the house. Hey, congratulations, Wheel Burner. I heard and or saw when I was watching your live today that you hit 10,000 subscribers. Congratulations. What a huge milestone. Grade 8 Transportation's in the house. What's going on, brother? How are you? You're in Jasper? Or do you mean Jasper or Casper? Wyoming. I don't know where that is. I very seldom go west of 35. And when I say I go west of 35, I'm talking about like North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska. I usually stay west of 35. Hollywood's in the house. What a beautiful feeling when it's empty and you've made a delivery. It's a blessing to be booking loads. Loads, so I didn't do anything today. I'll be honest. I had some stuff fall through, which my truck broke down. Long story short, I didn't do anything today. There was a couple of like local style runs that I wanted to take, and I actually made a mistake. So let's talk about this real quick. Because when you're booking your own loads, you sometimes F up. You sometimes make mistakes. I called the broker, worked out a fabulous rate for a 180-mile load. Well, I didn't realize that it was 180 miles in the wrong direction from where my pickup is tomorrow. So it was gonna put me like 4 hours away from my next pickup, which is tomorrow morning at 5 in the morning. And I realized this after I agreed to do the load. They sent the rate con, and right then is when I noticed, man, I made a mistake here. I gotta call this guy back and tell him I can't do the load, which is exactly what happened. Kind of sucks. This trucking life, that's why I had time like to do the deep clean of the trailer. With these trailers, I do sweep it out or blow it out, usually after every other delivery. Because they do get dirty, the floor gets dirty. Like I said, a bunch of like broken pallet stuff will get in the grooves here, and I like to pull that crap out. Like I said, sometimes you need a screwdriver and a hammer to get it out, but you know, it works. This trucking life's in the house. I bet you could have fit many trailers from the southern border in there. Get that money, yeah, right? Above Cheyenne, okay. Driving with John with a $4.99 super chat. I appreciate it. Recovery fee. I appreciate it. The hotel fee recovery fund. I appreciate that. Thank you, John. So sorry, CJ's in the house. What's going on? Justin Axford's in the house. What up, brother? You divorced yet? I hope you heard that. I hope you heard that. What's going on, man? How are you? Little inside joke there. Are you back at work, Justin Axford? Been a minute since I spoke to you. I hope your time off has been as enjoyable as you wanted it to be, my friend. Gary Bates says, I've been on recaps for about 2 weeks. Yeah, I run a lot of recaps too, Gary. At least for what I do, it's the easiest way for me to generate very good months. I typically don't know how to say this because I know weeks matter too. I typically look at my end of months. Like, that's what I care about. I really don't care about like what I'm doing per week. I look at the end of the month because I don't like to run a lot of miles. I try and run, anywhere from the most would be like 2,600 miles a week. That's the most. I care about money. I think Cash said that the other day on his live show. He doesn't run a lot of miles. We try and, run. My long haul is always from Minnesota or Wisconsin out to the East Coast. And once that's done, I don't really run very far. I try and stay within a certain area and not run more than like 400 miles on a load. And running recaps, what I'll do is I'll work my first 2 days at 10 hours, about 10 hours in a shift. And then after that, I run 8.5 hours. And then by the time the 8th day comes up, I'm getting a lot of hours back. I'm getting 10 hours back, usually with 2 or 3 hours left on my 70-hour clock. You got to deliver up in Montana. Okay. Justin Axford says, picking up the truck from the shop with a new windshield and drinking beer by the fire pit in the backyard for the rest of the night. Had a hell of a trip with all my friends in Yellowstone. Well, congratulations, Justin. Thanks for the invite. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry I couldn't make it. No, I know you have a lot of fun. I would love to do that sometime. You're definitely way more in shape than I am, Justin. But when you tell me your stories of your camping trips, I'm an outdoors guy. I love the outdoors. I used to hunt. I don't hunt anymore, but I fish all the time. I love going camping. And you live in the mountain range, man. Like Minnesota, northern Minnesota is beautiful, but we don't have mountains, and I don't know what it is. There's two things I love. I love the ocean and I love mountains, and I don't know why. David's in the house. Hey bro, how are you? We're good here, man. We're good here. We're just hanging out in the Reefer trailer tonight. I'll turn this around in a little bit. I thought it was kind of unique though. Shannon Thomas Trucking's in the house. Good evening, Shannon. How are you? Hey Shannon, if you're still in here, what were you talking about the other night when you said you went and picked up a used International? I'll be 100% transparent. I don't watch a lot of YouTube. The stuff I watch on YouTube is fishing related, right now hockey related, because there's really cool clips of some pretty cool goals and games in the NHL because the playoffs are going on. And then I watch weird stuff. I don't watch a lot of trucking YouTube. So yeah, you made a comment the other night on my live show, Shannon, that you were picking up another International truck. The Animal's in the house. Good evening, Animal. How are you doing, man? Thanks for the talk today. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Have you ever hunted worms, night crawlers? Absolutely, Gary. Absolutely. I still do, to be honest with you. We have a couple of garden beds that we built in our backyard, and worms love that. And let's say I want to go down to the river and just throw a line in and try and get some catfish. I'll go and dig out worms from the garden box. The wife doesn't really like it, but I do it anyways. Um, yep, got a new used truck. Check my latest live. I got a truck, 2 trailers, and a driver. Oh wow, congratulations. Congratulations, Shannon. Did you buy those trailers, or are you doing like a deal where you pay your carrier for those trailers? Yeah. I'm just glad my trailer's clean. Here, I'm gonna move this around. Well, actually, I'll just go like this. You can see me, I'm sitting on the floor of the Reefer trailer because it's nice and clean. Man, that's like close. And you got the sunset behind me. Let me move this back, but then I don't think I'm gonna be able to read the comments. David said no loads today. No, there was loads. I had a particular, I didn't want to go very far. I have a load that I'm picking up at 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, about an hour away from where I am. So if I was going to haul a load, it had to be same day. And, I didn't want to go far. Like I just said, 180 miles would have been the furthest I wanted. Well, I didn't even want to go 180 miles. I wanted to go like 60 miles. Which I'll say this, where I am, the freight's on fire. Like there was 500 loads on the board in a 75-mile radius of where I was today. This morning at 10 o'clock in the morning, because I went and ate breakfast at the hotel. And then I left the hotel, drove to where I currently am because I knew, I thought I could get a spot. I did get a spot, but there was only 3 spots available when I showed up here this morning. Now, this isn't a very big truck stop I'm at, but yeah, I didn't haul a load today. Yep, bought them both. Good for you, Shannon. Good for you. Make you uncomfortables in the house. What's going on, brother? How are you doing? Gonna take another sip of my Southern style iced tea. I typically don't drink iced tea, but this looked good when I went in and got it some potato chips. And the reason I bought Southern style was I got a buddy that lives down in Florida, and I grew up with him. And every time I go down there and hang out with him, his wife has, gosh, what's the grocery? Is it Publix? She always has like a gallon jug of this Publix Southern style iced tea, and it's delicious. Matter of fact, last time I was there, she overheard me saying to my buddy, man, this is really good. I might have to get some before I leave tomorrow. Well, she went to the grocery store and bought me some. So Shannon Thomas Trucking says, bought the truck from International Used Truck Center in Columbus, Ohio, 2021 International LT 625 with an A26 motor. I'm very interested in that motor. I know somebody else that has one, and they love it. I have the Cummins in my International, but I've heard very good things about that A26. Double bunk with Thermo King APU sliding fifth wheel. Yeah, that's pretty, sounds like our truck, Shannon. The only thing I don't like about the double bunk in the International is you can't move it. It doesn't fold up. That's the only thing I don't like. I'll make you uncomfortable saying hi to Shannon. 311,000 miles and 2.5-year factory-backed warranty. A 2019. Oh, you bought another dry van, huh? Okay. I know you like doing that dry van work. Well, good for you, Shannon. Congratulations. For everybody saying that we're in a down market, there are people making moves, man. Congratulations, Shannon. That's huge. Where am I filming this? I am in Pennsylvania right now. Sunset behind me. Looks pretty damn cool, doesn't it? We're in Pennsylvania tonight. I will be in New Jersey tomorrow morning, and then back in Pennsylvania for a pickup tomorrow night at, I think it's 5 o'clock. It's either 5 or 6 o'clock at night, and then that load is going up to Massachusetts. So I got a busy day tomorrow. I got to be up at like 2:50, excuse me, 2:50 in the morning, do my pre-trip, get my coffee, get ready to go. I'm about an hour away from where I pick up, and I believe my appointment is at 5 a.m. I'm definitely going to have to double check that. Hold on a second. Double check that appointment time, but I believe it's 5 a.m. and it's a straight through, and it's only going like 46, 47 miles, and I got it for $750. Like I said, out here on the East Coast, freight, there's a lot of freight and they're paying. Like I said, it's 46 or maybe it's 86 miles. I don't remember. Yeah, thank you, Uncomfortable. Fate, it looks exactly like yours, Red Beautiful. Yeah, well, mine looks like a piece of crap, Shannon. It's definitely not beautiful. I got multiple holes through the sleeper of my truck, broken window, broken side box. Yeah, that's a whole ordeal, man. The shop, I am on the schedule to bring the truck in and get it fixed, but I don't think I want to get it fixed. It's supposed to go into the shop May 15th, but I think I'm going to stay out. And the reason I say that is, you know, when you book your own freight and you're looking at load boards all the time, or you're getting emails from brokers of load lists and things like that, the lanes I run, there is a lot of freight, a ton of freight. And I don't want to miss out on the opportunity of booking some good loads. Like I said, I have a load that picks up at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's $750. And then I have a load that picks up tomorrow evening, either at 5 or 6 at night. That's $1,500 up into Massachusetts. Anybody that runs the East Coast, if you're running up to Massachusetts at night, like, it's an easy drive. During like the daytime or rush hour, it's absolutely horrible. But at night, it's a very simple drive. I'll take 80 to, 287, cross over the Tappan Zee, and then get on to, I think I'm going to get on to 95. Because where I deliver in Massachusetts is like south of Boston, quite a ways. Kind of, you know how like Rhode Island and Massachusetts meet on that southern tip? That's where I'm going to be delivering. So I think I'm going to be taking 95 north. I think that's the route. But yeah, it's going to be an easy drive and great money. Downside is I had a load scheduled for Friday that isn't going to be ready. I'm grateful that they called me today and told me the load wasn't going to be ready. So I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do Friday out of Massachusetts. Anyways. 2 4s in the house. What's going on, man? How are you? $64,000. Am I reading that right? I look like a saint. Yeah, with the halo above my head. I would be wary of that kind of debt with the type of market, but congrats on the big move, Shannon. Hey, man, Justin, I fully agree with what you're saying, but I also think that if you can have things set up for you, if you know you have access to certain types of freight and you can make it work, without risk, there's really no reward. You know what I mean? You gotta weigh the risk versus reward. You know, in the down markets, there's lots of people that make a lot of money, man. You have to be willing to take that risk. There was somebody, a friend of mine, that last year increased his fleet by, I think it was 3 or 4 trucks, brought on a couple of W-2 employees, and that was considered like the worst freight market last year. I don't agree with that, but that's what the internet was saying, you know what I mean? That's what YouTube was saying. And this guy that I know bought, I think it was 3 new trucks, trailers, and brought on W-2 employees. To bring on an actual W-2 employee is not cheap. At least where I live in Minnesota. Each state's set up different, but workman's comp insurance, all kinds of things. When you have a W-2 employee now, you are forced to set money aside for them for their retirement. It's a percentage of their income. So like bringing on an actual W-2 employee is not cheap. But yeah, congratulations, Shannon. 24, how was your day? Oh, it's saying hi to 24. Shannon, there are all cash flowing just... Well, Shannon, that's not 100% true. That's not 100% true. They're not all cash flowing. I mean, I hope you didn't pay cash for all of them. The reality is, I don't think what you did is a bad thing, Shannon. Absolutely not. But I'm also a risk taker, and I also, I look at things from the perspective of how much stress do I want to put on myself, and, is the stress worth what the outcome might be. Like I said, Shannon, I don't think what you did was wrong at all. Absolutely not. And you have people that help you, Shannon, or not help you. You have a good network of people around you. I mean, that'd be like if I was to bring on some employees or do some other things, I could bend the ear of DIY. I could talk to Cash is King, There's people that have had employees before that have experienced good and bad things by doing that, and I could get information from them. And that's just 2 people off of YouTube. I mean, I think about the people that I talk to about business right now and other ventures that I'm in, and I could talk to them too, and they would have good insight. It's all about networking. You know what I mean? People saying hi. Josh the Vegan's in the house. What up, Josh? How are you? Guard Dog's in the house. Good evening, sir. How are you? Gene's in the house. What's up, buddy? Not much here. Just a drop-in hook in good old North Carolina. Man, North Carolina is a beautiful state. I don't get there enough. But that goes back to what I said before. I typically run the same lanes because they're profitable for me. And I have very good connections in certain parts of the country where a lot of people, there's lots of trucks on the East Coast, but a lot of people don't like the East Coast. I don't mind the East Coast. You know what I mean? I don't like all the traffic, but it's certainly a decent place to be. My driver is a lease purchase and trailers are already earning money being rented. Well, how do you, I see what you're saying. You're renting the trailer to the lease purchase driver. That's kind of, I get what you're saying. Got my opinions on that, but congratulations. Shannon will do fine. Yeah, Shannon will do fine. Like I said, I know Shannon's got like a nucleus of people that she can talk to and get ideas and help from, and that's important in this industry to have connections. I have connections out I have some connections out on the East Coast that help me work on my truck sometimes. You know what I mean? And give me freight. You know what I mean? This industry is built on connections. And I know Shannon, like I said, I know Shannon's got a good nucleus of people around her. It's definitely, Music City Transports in the house says it's definitely about relationships you make. I agree with that. So he's really not my driver per se. It just helps someone like I was like I was helped too. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Shannon. I did the same thing. I sold my Mac as a lease purchase. The gentleman that bought it is halfway through the purchase. I lease purchase is a weird thing to say. He bought it from me on payments, and he's halfway through. He's got, maybe another 6-7 months, and the truck will be paid off. And I kind of did that too. I helped somebody get into something that I'm hoping is what I haven't heard anything negative. But I hope he's happy with what he's doing and the money that he's generating. And to be honest, at first it was kind of a difficult thing to do because I don't know how to say this. Like it's money, right? And anytime you're dealing with money, sometimes there's emotions involved with money. And at first I wasn't comfortable giving somebody something of excess value without really recouping that immediately. It took some time for me to be patient and understand that, hey, the way this is set up, A, it helps somebody out. B, I'm making money on it. C, if it doesn't work out, I get the truck back. And it's put me in a position where I would do it again. I most definitely would do it again. I think I would change a couple of things in my contract, but I definitely would do it again. Thanks, guys, for saying hit the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Have a good team. Yes, having a good team is important. Justin got a load to Florida for $2,400. Are you talking about Just Truckin? Or the Justin expert? I bet, David, based on the conversation, or you in the chat the other night, I think you're talking about Just Truckin. Yeah, freight. I mean, like I said, freight's moving, at least where I am, and they're willing to pay for it. I'm gonna jet and vegetable out. Well, take it easy. I'll make you uncomfortable. Have a good night. Exactly right. 100. Just Truckin. Yeah, Just Truckin. All right. Yeah. I stopped in his. Was he live yet? Was he live yesterday? Was that when Justin was live? I stopped in there and listened to that for a little bit and talked to him for a minute. Or not talked to him, but you know what I mean. Talked in the chat for a minute. Yeah, good for him. Like I said, the freight's paying, man. I feel like what I got set up for my next 2 days, I haven't seen the numbers that I got on these next 2 loads in about a year. And then, like I said, this morning, I did a 75-mile search of where I currently am, and there was 500 loads available. I haven't seen that in well over a year. It's been kind of like where you look at the load boards and you're like, man, there's only 50 loads. Like, this doesn't make sense. I'm positioned like by New Jersey, by Maryland. Like I'm in like a corridor of freight. And there's been times over the last year and a half where there hasn't been much freight in this area. Hence, that's why the connections come in. I have come to find out that the load boards is just leftover. It's leftover freight. That's what the load boards are, is leftover freight. Freight that whether it's a broker or a customer or shipper, whoever is putting that freight on the other trucking companies, it's just things that they aren't able to cover. So they put it out there for the masses. So it's nice to see when you open the load board, because this is when I play the spot market. I play the spot market for usually 2 days when I'm out on the East Coast. And it's nice to see good rates in areas that I'm super familiar with. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid of going up into New Hampshire, going up into Massachusetts, going to Boston. I am afraid of going into like New York. I have no interest in going into New York. I get scared every time I'm on 95 in New York, and no matter how many times I'm on it and I see the low bridge signs of what, 12.2, it's like, holy crap, I'm going 55 miles an hour. And then realizing, no, you can get under all these. That's because of like snowpack and crap like that. But, you know, I know that if I take a load from the Midwest out to the East Coast, I can make money in a couple of days running the spot market out here, and then I usually have very good freight that pays me very well to go back to the Midwest. You know, and it's just from connections. I mean, I don't want to share too much, but you know, it's connections. It's being able to talk to people. You know, I had a subscriber that I would say we've become friends. We have become friends. We've broken bread together. We've eaten. You know, I had a long talk with him today. I'm going through some stuff on a personal level. And when you're out in the truck, man, that is the hardest crap to deal with, because you are so far away from your family that you're not really connected. And when your family is going through something, or you're going through something personally, it's hard to like get that off your brain to focus on what you're supposed to be doing. So it's also important to have people that you can reach out to and just kind of talk and get some advice. You know, I mean, my kids are older, you know what I mean? 20, 17, 19. So 20, 19, 17. And I'm 45. And I'll tell you what, man, I am still learning how to be like a parent. You know, I didn't realize, you know, the older they got, it doesn't really get that much. It got easier for like 2.5, 3 years. Hold on a second. 2.5 or 3 years. And then like adult problems started happening that they were having. You know what I mean? So like trying to be a parent still is not something that's easy. It's hard. Howie's in the house. Are you in the bathroom? Nope, we're sitting in the reefer trailer. Look, I'm sitting in my cleaned out reefer trailer. I got sick of sitting in the front seat of the truck. Beautiful background though, right? Look at that one more time. So cool. So cool. Justin Axford says, congrats to Shannon again, and I'll be in the East stomping grounds next week, brother. It's beer 30 here. You're on one, Justin. Have a good time, brother. Have a good time, man. When you get back on the road, give me a call, bro. Edward's in the house. What up, man? How are you? Good evening. Just making it. Oh, you didn't really miss anything, Edward. I was in here cleaning out my trailer, like doing a deep clean on my trailer, because I had nothing but time today, and I get bored just sitting in the truck. Like, I don't want to compare it to what I'm about to say, because it's so much better than that. But like, if you've ever been confined for a little bit or a while, like, you understand what I'm saying. Like, you get used to the confinement and you find ways to pass the time inside where you are. But I go stir crazy, man. There's only so much searching the internet. There's only so much watching TV or movies or reading a book before I gotta get out and do something. And like I said earlier, with these reefer trailers, here, I'll show you. It's getting too dark. But do you see these grooves down here? A lot of times broken pallets get like wedged in there. And the only way to remove them is by like using a hammer and a screwdriver. So I did that today. Just clean the trailer out, man. I wanted it to look nice. Dumped a little water. I had like a little dirt stain up in the corner. Dumped some water in there, clean that up, you know. Because that's the biggest thing about hauling reefer freight is most places like a big cold storage facility like Lineage or Americold isn't going to care that much. But I haul a lot of like specialty style, whether it's seafood or certain types of cheeses. These facilities aren't really big and they want the trailer to look almost immaculate, you know what I mean? And minus doing a washout, like my trailer is so clean right now and I've left the doors open all day because sometimes it gets like a little musty smelling. So I wanted to air out the trailer because I am hauling like a specialty load in the morning. It's going to like a small distributor, so I want the trailer to look as clean as possible. 2-4, you gotta go wherever they send you. Guys that say I don't go to that area go broke fast. Well, so there's places I don't go, but I have the right to say that, you know what I mean? As an owner operator, I don't have to go to places I don't want to. I don't limit myself on like the freight I'm gonna haul or things like that. Like a lot of people don't like going to Jersey or going to Jersey City or Union City, New Jersey, or Newark, New Jersey. I'm sure I said that wrong. I don't know how to say that word. I don't limit myself that way, but yeah, I don't go to like Manhattan, and I don't cross the river and go into the Bronx or Yonkers or anything like that. I stay on 95 through them, but I don't have to, you know what I mean? Maybe if I was super hard up for money, I would do it, but I don't have a reason to do that. And like I said earlier, 2-4, I don't go west of 35. I have no reason to. If I decided I want to, I would. Like, I was talking to somebody the other day about one of them was my wife. I've never been to Maine, right? I really want to go to Maine, but if I go to Maine, I want to have a couple of days off and go like crabbing, you know what I mean? Or like enjoy, like I want to almost take a vacation there. Look at that plane. Is that a UFO? See that? Super cool night, man. Super cool night. So I think this year I'm gonna go to places that I've never been before, and maybe take a couple of vacations while I do it. The only thing I'm gonna have to figure out is, like, I know my wife will come out there with me, like take a load, say from Minnesota out to Maine or something like that, but I don't have connections in Maine, and I would probably have to fly her home. You know what I mean? That would end up being, you know, the way I run, I would be gone for 2.5 weeks probably, because I have customers out on the East Coast that if I'm out on the East Coast, I'm hauling their freight. And the way that that's set up is they tell me when the freight's ready. I don't call and say, oh, I'm here, give me a load. They let me know when the freight's ready. Know it way too well. I don't remember what I said, Edward. Sorry. It's getting dark. Maybe I should move into the truck. But I love this time of year where it gets cool at night. It's nice in the morning, or you know, in the daytime. Then it drops like 10 or 15 degrees at night. And at least where I am, the last couple of nights, there haven't been bugs. Like even when I was at the hotel, I went outside at night and went for some walks, and there was no bugs. Ah, shoot. I gotta stop looking at the trailer. I'm gonna have to get that fixed. 2-4 says, Maine is a nice spot. Took a 2-week ride through Northeast on a bike a few years back. Oh wow, that'd be fun. Through the U.S. Northeast on a bike. That would be crazy, man. I used to bike a lot when I was a kid. I really haven't biked since I got my driver's license. But I got my license late. I didn't get a driver's license at 16 like a lot of other people. I didn't get my driver's license till I was 18 years old. My parents didn't allow me to because I wasn't following the rules. So I didn't get my regular driver's license till I was 18 years old. Yes, I'm bored sitting in the trailer. Yep. Motorbike. Oh, okay. So like a motorcycle. Okay, that'd still be fun, man. That'd still be fun. I got a buddy I used to work with that used to go to Arizona, like probably right around this time every year. He would take like 10, 11 days off of work and get on his motorcycle and go to like the Grand Canyon. And he had, I don't know much about motorcycles. What do you call it? Like a Gold Wing or something? Like this thing was huge. It had like all the storage compartments and it had super loud radio, I remember. And him and his wife would go to the Grand Canyon every year, same time every year. And I remember he'd come back and like from like here up, he was like tanner than he was like super tan, and his arms, you know, would be super tan. And then he'd go like this and it'd be just white as white could be. Steve, the market's great up here, man. I was talking about that a little bit earlier. I got on the load board this morning at 10 o'clock in the morning. Did like a 75-mile radius, 100-mile radius search of where I currently am, and there was 500 loads on the load board. I haven't seen that in like over a year. That much freight going to good markets as well. You know what I mean? Usually where I am right now, you can get good money to go places because you're going to like a little bit softer of a market. But then I would search, take for example, I'm bringing, I don't want to share too much, I'm bringing a load up into Massachusetts, right? Where I'm going in Massachusetts, I was out there like 3 weeks ago, and when I did a load board search on trying to find a spot market load to get me back to my customer freight, there was like 37 loads. Today, there was 197. I'm not saying that's huge, but that's a big jump from 37. And they were paying on it. And I'm getting paid, I am getting paid almost as much as I did when things were shut down to go up into Massachusetts tomorrow. I think that's good. Yeah, man. Steve, I run this lane all year long. I'm an I-80. If you know like the Midwest, Highway 30 is the way I cut across Ohio to avoid the turnpike. But I run I-80, man. I come from the Minnesota or Wisconsin out east. Usually my freight from Minnesota or Wisconsin brings me to Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Every now and then I'll go into like upstate New York or like Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse area. But I like coming to like Pennsylvania, let's say Philadelphia area. Because like I said, I have connections out here. I'm not on the load board all the time. I get the load lists, or I email the brokers that I work with and say, hey, I will be out in this area on the 5th. Do you have anything leaving the 5th or early on the 6th? And they'll get back to me. Who's my favorite hockey team? Well, I'm from Minnesota, man. So I grew up a North Stars fan. My life was ruined as a child when the North Stars left and went to Dallas and won a Stanley Cup. So my favorite hockey team, I'm a homer, would be the Minnesota Wild. I am a big fan of I like all the Canadian hockey teams. Right now I'm a big fan of the Oilers. I'm a fan of the Capitals. Yeah. I wouldn't, I mean, the Wild are my favorite hockey team, but I just love hockey. Like, anybody that plays the Wild and I'm at the game or watching it at home, I want the Wild to win. But I enjoy watching, like, good hockey. You know what I mean? How do I say your name? I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry. Hi. Steering? What sound does TS make? Searing? Whatever. Hi, good evening. How are you? But no, and when it comes to hockey, like, here's the funny part. My favorite type of hockey is high school hockey. I mean, I'm from the state of hockey. Minnesota has put more players in the NHL than like any other state. Minnesota is hockey. I mean, it is. Not to say other states aren't hockey states, but Minnesota is a hockey state. And high school hockey in Minnesota is absolutely huge. And we have really, really good teams. Like, we have teams that win national championships when they leave the state of Minnesota and go and play even like junior college teams. We have a couple of schools in Minnesota that don't even play in the high school league. They play in the junior leagues. Shattuck St. Mary's, for example, a lot of NHL players, not just from Minnesota, from all around the country and even like Canada and all around the world, will go and play at Shattuck. And they play some of the premier hockey that's in the world. I mean, they'll travel overseas and play people. But yeah, high school hockey is my favorite type of hockey, and then college hockey would be second, and third would be the NHL. I really enjoy the NHL right now during playoff season. I wouldn't say I follow it as much as I used to, like during the regular season. I do watch the Wild. I keep up with what they're doing because that's my hometown team. But I think this is my personal opinion. I know a lot of people like March Madness for college basketball, or even the NBA playoffs, which the Timberwolves are actually good this year. I'm not a basketball fan. It was a sport that I never played, but I enjoy what the Timberwolves are doing right now. But I would say the NHL has some of the most entertaining spectator games to watch come playoff time. It's not a huge pool of teams, and B, it's just such a fast-paced game. Hockey, like, if you really understand hockey, they've slowed it down. Like, truthfully, like, they slowed hockey down for fans. You know, more whistles. They changed a lot of the rules. Like, the rules that I grew up playing, like during mites and pee-wees and bantam hockey, they changed all those rules to actually, like, I would say they've made the game, like, you have to be more creative, but they've also slowed the game down. But you come playoff time in the NHL, man, it's hard to argue. Those games are so fun to watch. There was a great game last night, the Canes, man. I watched that in the hotel room. Penalty shot, too. You don't see that a lot in the playoffs. Oh, really? Sidney Crosby, Nate McKinnon. Own property not far from me. Yeah, they're McKinnon's Minnesota boy. Sidney Crosby lived in Minnesota for a while. He played at Shattuck. So he played at Shattuck, and then I want to say he played in that Canadian Super Junior League. And I mean, he played in the NHL when he was 18 years old, man. That dude's a good player. That dude's a great player, Sidney Crosby. Mobile My Sticks. Jackknife TV's in the house. What up, brother? How are you? We might not be far from each other right now, Jackknife, if you're out trucking. I bought this at 10 o'clock this morning. This is the most sugar I've drank. How many grams of sugar are in here? Holy shnikes. 52 grams. My teeth are going to fall out. Super sweet, but it's good. It's good. Nova Scotia. Yeah, Nova Scotia. Oh, I thought McKinnon. Who am I? Middlestead. I'm thinking of Middlestead. Hold on one second. Yeah, if you're from Nova Scotia, man, you guys had great junior hockey up there. Canadians, it's a different, like, I'm not comparing Minnesota hockey to Canadian hockey. But like, if you grow up in Canada playing hockey, you live, breathe, and eat hockey. Your goal is to play for like a super junior Canadian team, a national Canadian team. And the reality is, if you play for one of those teams, you're probably going to get a Division I scholarship down here in the States, or you're going to get picked up by an NHL team at a young age, and they're going to groom you into becoming an NHL hockey player. Minnesota is set up the same way. If you play hockey as a kid growing up in Minnesota, very quickly, now I was a 3-sport athlete. I played hockey, football, and baseball. The best sport I was at, like if I really take a step back and look, was baseball. But hockey became what I loved, and I was good at it too. You know what I mean? I wasn't as good as I thought I was, but I was good enough to like make teams that other people weren't making. And you know, I lived and breathed hockey. By the time I was in high school, hockey was everything to me. It was, I thought it was a way out of my town, right? Like I thought it was a way for me to get out of where I grew up, even though now that I'm 45, I really appreciate where I grew up, but I didn't at the time. It was a way for me to get out of where I grew up, and I thought it was also a way that college was going to be paid for me, which it was. Choices I made stopped that from happening. You know, but kind of like Canadians, man, you get into Minnesota and that's what we do. We live, breathe, and eat hockey. And our goal as a high school hockey player isn't to make a junior team, it's to make one of the Division I college teams in Minnesota, whether that's the Gophers, Bemidji, Mankato, St. Cloud, Duluth. Like a lot of kids in the state of Minnesota want to either, like, back when I was growing up, you wanted to play for the Gophers. Like that was, you hit the all-time high if you got to play hockey for the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Nowadays, I mean, if it was me, I'd still want to play for the Gophers, but like UMD, University of Minnesota Duluth, Mankato, like these are powerhouse hockey teams. And you want to stay at home, because here's the thing. Minnesota is so hockey bred that like you follow, like I just said, high school hockey's awesome. You'll know, like, let's take the city I live in, right? I live in the metropolitan area of Minneapolis and St. Paul. If you hear about a kid who might be like 14 or 15 dominating whatever league he's in, and say he's going to a big time high school in Minnesota, by the time he hits high school, you are watching him. Like, you're going to the games, even if he's going to a high school an hour away from where you live, you're traveling to watch this person play, and then you'll hear, oh, he committed to the Gophers. Well, so you're watching this kid for probably like 4 years in high school, and then 2 to 4 years at the collegiate level. And then you're like invested in this player. You know what I mean? It's weird, but it's fun. People saying hi to Jackknife. Oh, okay. No, I'm not over where you are. I know the pilot you were at, though. I know the pilot you were at. That's the super small, tight one, right, Jackknife? I know right where you're talking about. 84. Yeah, right there. 84 in New York. Yeah, I hate that pilot. I know exactly what you're talking about. People saying hi to Jackknife. Jackknife's talking. I watched a documentary about the Stanley Cup. That's pretty neat. Every 60 years winds up coming. Yes. So the way the Stanley Cup's set up is once you get to the top, they remove that. They put it in the Hockey Hall of Fame and they add another piece. Yeah. Right? Am I right about that? Or does it go down? But the names that are on there, man, the names that are on the Stanley Cup. I did get to see the Stanley Cup a few years ago. Well, not a few, probably like 10. That'd be 2004. No, longer than that. It's been a long time, probably like 2008. The Minnesota Wild made it to the conference championship. And they brought the Stanley Cup to Minnesota and put it on display. You couldn't touch it, but you could get, I'm not even an arm's length away from my phone right now, but you could get that close to the Stanley Cup. And obviously being a hockey player and a hockey fan, I had to pay the money to go see the Stanley Cup. People saying hi. Yes, Jackknife. I know right what you're talking about. I think I did a vlog quite a while ago, and we're talking maybe a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago now, and you commented like you knew the pilot I was at. I remember that. I've never stopped there since then. I hate that place. I believe isn't there a TA not far from there, if I remember right? I think there's a TA, which that place is just as bad. Just as bad. Robert B's in the house. Yo, what up, Robert B? How are you? Oh, I gotta stand up, sitting on this floor. Holy buckets. We'll hold the phone like this for a minute. Oh, yeah, I gotta stretch. My butt got sore sitting on the bottom of the trailer. Got pick of Stanley Cup on Nate's deck on Grand Lake, Nova Scotia from a boat. That's awesome, dude. Trying to think who the last person was that brought the Stanley Cup to Minnesota. Wasn't that long ago. Trying to remember where it was. I can't remember where it was. It's always cool, man. Stanley Cup, like I said, I'm a hockey fan, so the Stanley Cup's a cool thing. No, I'm not saving. I'm saving to retire, bro. I don't want to do this crap forever. Okay, yeah, the TA's down the road a little bit. Yeah, we're thinking of the same spot. There are 2 seasons in hockey, regular season, which I don't watch, and playoff hockey. Playoff hockey is amazing and so energetic. It is, Gene. I get the boring part of the regular season of hockey. Like I said, I don't follow it as much as I don't have the time to follow it as much as I used to. But yeah, it's so much changed. But the regular season also has amazing things that happen. Look at what happened in Toronto this year. 70 goals, man. That's insane. That's insane. Scoring that many goals at the top level of a league, man. It's kind of like baseball, hitting all the home runs, crap like that. Sorry, where are we on a billboard? Sorry, where are we on a billboard? Sorry, where are we on a billboard? Don't follow. I'm in Pennsylvania. It's getting dark, though. I should probably go on the truck. What time is it? I should probably be getting ready for bed, too. Gotta be up early. I can't get my... It's 9 o'clock. Probably should eat dinner and think about going to bed. I gotta be up early. Log Truck Life 317. Where are you in PA? I'm in Pennsylvania. I don't want to give away my location. I still gotta sleep here tonight. Not that anybody would bother me. What's funny was I did a short today, and somebody that was here saw the short and made a comment on it, and then I have a generator on the back of my truck for my portable AC unit because I don't have an APU on this truck. And I was walking to get gasoline for my generator, and as I was walking back to the truck, the guy came out to me, which I thought was cool. I forget what his name was. Nice guy. Griff's in the house. What's going on, man? Trying to think of a good location. I'm in Pennsylvania. No, I'm not in Carlisle. Not in Carlisle. I'm south of Carlisle. South of Carlisle, right? Yes, I am southeast of Carlisle, I believe. All right, good log truck. I hope you understand. And the more I think about it now, I kind of stood up. I mean, if you're familiar with Pennsylvania and a truck stop, I'm not at a super big truck stop, but really nice place though. It's clean, and it doesn't smell like pee. It's a nice, clean truck stop. You don't see this much anymore. That's a shame. You know what I mean? Lots of places that we go into, the parking lots are all torn up. There's huge, potholes, trash all over the place. This place is super clean. Super clean. Yes, I'm somewhere in the middle of there, Griff. Somewhere in the middle of there. Take care, buddy. Got a hour before I got to be near Charlotte. Be safe out there on the road, everyone, and hit the like button and slow down, everyone. Yeah, take it easy, Gene. Have a good night. Drive safe. Yeah, man, slow down. Speed plays a huge role in your ability to control your truck. And it's not even controlling the truck. You got to control the trailer too. Speed plays a big role in that. Make sure you're slowing down in construction zones. I never understand when I'm watching people or having discussions with people that are telling me they're going 70, 72 miles an hour, 75 out on the west when you get out west. None of that makes sense to me. Always the excuse I hear is, I gotta cover the miles. I gotta get all these miles in, 750 miles today. It's man, why are you taking something with such a short window to make the delivery in? And plus, really, you gotta think about your steer tires, your drive tires, your trailer tires. What are those actually rated for? You know what I mean? I'm not ashamed to admit, I travel 64 to 66 miles an hour everywhere I go, and sometimes I do increase my speed to get around somebody or something like that. But the reality is, if I set my cruise control to 64 miles an hour, I'm not hitting my brakes, I'm saving on fuel because I'm not weaving in and out of traffic. I'm the type of driver that if like take Highway 30 for example. Highway 30 has a lot of stoplights in two areas, right? Where they want all trucks in the right lane. You know how many guys I see in the left lane that are thinking they're gonna fly through this area and they're slamming on their brakes, smoking their brakes to the stoplights? I'm the type of driver that slows down. Like if I see a green light and I know I'm like a quarter mile away from it, I'm not running cruise control when it's like that, but I start slowing down. I don't want to come to full stops at stoplights, right? I try and use the engine brake to slow me down to where I'm just rolling. You know what I mean? You're saving on maintenance. You're saving your tires. You're saving your brakes, you know? Jackknife TV says Shippingburg or Chambersburg. I'm not going to be anywhere near there. I'm going back to Pottsville to drop the trailer off. That sucks. You know what? I actually saw your terminal the other day. I went to Wigman's, Jackknife. Did I say that right? Wigman's, DC. And I saw the Tyson plant in Pottsville. I had never seen that before. I don't know how. It's like you see it as you're coming up to the exit, right? It's on the left-hand side. I just saw a bunch of Tyson trailers. That's what made me, I actually thought of you. I was like, I wonder if Jackknife's in there. You know, it was kind of late at night. Or no, it wasn't. I had an 8 p.m. delivery at Wigman's. So it probably was like 7:15 when I drove through there. I need to talk to you because I need to find a good place to stay after making a delivery in that area. I went all the way back up to Highway 80 to the TA, the pilot and TA that were right there. I had to go all the way back up there after I was done unloading. It is Jackknife. I'm out of rudders. Jackknife TV says, I'm going to make a recommendation. Everyone should try taco flavored sunflower seeds. Oh, so my favorite type of sunflower seed is that kettle roast. Isn't it called kettle roasted? I love sunflower seeds, but the screwed up thing is, so I chew tobacco. If I throw a handful of sunflower seeds, my lip is like torn to shreds. Worse than my chewing tobacco causes. No sailboat fuel jackknife. Oh, I must have missed something. Sorry, Jackknife, thinking of something different. Okay. All right, y'all. I think I'm gonna end this and go make some dinner. I wonder what I should make for dinner tonight. I cook so much food in my truck. I'm getting bored with it though. Anyways, I don't have anything else to say. I hope everybody has a great night. Yeah, if you're out there trucking tonight, be careful. I started thinking about this. For all you, hopefully you know who Driving with John is. I'm not gonna steal his line. But yeah, everybody be safe tonight. Have a good night. We'll see you when I go live again. What's funny is WCF Invader made a comment the other night, so I was on somebody else's live. Hey, when are you going to go live again, Fate? Well, I'm live tonight and you're not here, Don. So you missed out again. Yeah, thanks, Griff. Appreciate it. 2-4, appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate it, David. Everybody have a good night. Take care. Bye. Ooh, I don't know what I'm doing. And